Hare Ganga Mahadev Sri Shankara Parvati Pati Mahadev Sri Shankara.
Namaste, it's Sahara Rose, and welcome back to the Highest Self podcast, a place where we discuss what makes you your soul's highest development. What got you here won't take you there. These words just popped into my head because they were words that I needed to hear. So and perhaps you can resonate with this, I have always given my all. I was a good student, always worked really hard, put in a lot of work and dedication, even sacrificed having fun and being social to study and to work and to get ahead. Can you resonate with this? Well, in fact, these are traits that we have been trained to have since the time we were kids. Focus on school, do your homework, get ahead, then you'll get into college, then you'll get a good job, then you'll get a raise, etc. So what has gotten us here may have been hard work, dedication, sacrifice. However, where do we want to go? So first, this takes asking the question of, what are my values and how do I want to feel? Because so often we have been really trained to be in this rat race, this cycle that we're just getting ahead. And we feel like if we're not working really, really hard all the time, then something's wrong. We're falling behind. We're not exerting ourselves enough. We're not doing our best. And someone else is going to take our spot and we're going to be forgotten. In fact, we're going to lose all of our money and become homeless and be forgotten and be a disgrace to our families, all because we weren't working really hard all the time. So you got to continue, because if you're not, someone else will, right? We're trained like this. And it's embedded in our consciousness in even the most micro ways. So I'll share with you why the sentence came up for me. So today I had a podcast interview with someone and he ended up canceling last minute. It was raining in LA. His Wi-Fi was out. So I had, an hour and a half to spare. So instantly I started going through my DMs looking for someone else to podcast with. Like I was about to just ask a random person who we, know each other, but we don't have even a podcast scheduled of like, hey, I was thinking like right now, like, do you want to hop on the microphone? And then I just took a step back and I noticed, okay, where's this coming from? And it's coming from that exact thought that I need to be filling up my time with things all the time. If I'm not being productive, I'm not doing enough. And now that I have this hour and a half, I better find something else to fill up the time. Otherwise, I'm going to waste it. So let me go out of my way and find something to do to make it worthy. And that's when the sentence came to my head. What got you here won't take you there. Because where are we going? What actually matters to us? Do we get a gold star for being the hardest working person? Do you want at your funeral, like, Rachel was a great girl. She worked really, really hard. Long hours. Way past anyone else at the office. Like that girl didn't even take a weekend off. Whew, we'll miss her. Is that how you want to be remembered? Probably not. But why do we put our all into this working, productivity when we don't even want to be remembered as that? We don't even want that to be our legacy. So yes, there is for sure benefits to working hard and for being focused and being dedicated and devoted. However, sometimes we get to this point that we need to change the energy from which we are creating to bring us to our true intention for how we want to live our lives. Most people, especially when you're on a spiritual growth journey, have this realization that the way that they have been operating has been due to conditioning from the outside world. And they start to recognize that we think that if I work super hard, then I'll be happy, then I'll be satisfied, then people will be proud of me, then I'll be proud of myself. And we have the realization that that is not an outside job. You don't have to really do anything to love yourself. You are inherently worthy of love. And you don't need to fill up every pocket of your time with productivity and multitasking and getting up earlier and doing the most, because that doesn't actually really matter. Like we can even overdo it with morning routine practices and even healthy habits. So why are we like this? Again, it's because we have just been operating from this level of programming, this programming that has told us from the beginning that our worth is defined by our productivity. And who does this actually serve? It serves a capitalistic system that needs us to continue to work all the time because that's what's going to bring more revenue into the marketplace. However, is that what you want for your life? Are you working out of inspiration? Are you truly passionate about that thing that you're doing? Is it bringing you towards greater expansion? Or are you simply doing it out of autopilot? Are you simply filling up your time because you don't know what else to do with it? Are you that kind of person that goes on vacation and like finds more work to do? Or maybe you're like me who sits down somewhere, maybe you're on a beach or in a forest and you start like going through all your old emails to like make sure you've responded to everyone, or all your old texts and, your calendar, and make sure nothing's been forgotten. That's that post-patriarchy stress disorder. It's that patriarchal system that tells us keep doing, doing, doing. You are defined by your dedication to your work, and the person who worked the hardest will be seen as the best, will be worthy of the most love, joy, fulfillment, because they sacrificed all of those things the most. Do you see the backwardness in this? It doesn't actually make sense. There you are on your vacation, the thing that you worked so hard for, but you're filling up your time with work. So I won't lie that hard work can get you places. I definitely have worked very, very hard in my life, and that is not at all what I am negating. However, what got you here, maybe it was sleepless nights. Maybe it was pushing yourself past your boundaries. Maybe it was going beyond your comfort zone again and again and again. Those are all great things if they served you. However, where do you want to go next? What are those values? Is it joy, ease, community, truth, freedom, compassion? Now, the way that you are operating, is that honoring those qualities? Will that same energy, that same frequency, that same programming from which you are operating from right now get you to where you want to go? That's the question. Oftentimes we reach this pinnacle moment that we realize that our form of being in the world actually is not serving where we want to go next and who we want to be next. So for me, I recognize that what got me here was doing lots of podcasts and filling up my schedule and, going above and beyond. Yes. However, what will take me to where I want to be, living a life of peace, ease, joy, harmony, fun, that's actually what matters to me most right now. It's actually not growth and, creating money for my business for the first time. Those actually aren't the things I'm looking for in my life right now. So I need to now deprogram from the way that I've been doing things before and instead choose the programming I want to be in this new frequency. And that new programming of joy, ease, flow, harmony is letting myself have the hour and a half of space, letting magic like this flow through, letting myself enjoy my time reading a book or looking up fun interior design or taking a course, rather than feeling like I always need to be creating, I always need to be writing a book, I always need to be doing something. Again, that got me here, but it won't take me there. So I invite you to ask yourself that question. What is the way that you've been operating? Maybe you're like me, who's like super productive, and maybe where you want to go next is embodying more of your divine feminine and ease and flow. Or maybe you have not really taken action on your visions and dreams and purpose, and you have been procrastinating more, and maybe you feel like you're lazy. So what got you here isn't going to get you there, of taking action on your dreams and bringing your visions off the ground and actually following through on what matters to you. because it can go both ways. So what is that operating system you are ready to reprogram? Maybe it's the energy of urgency. Everything is so urgent all the time. That was one for me I used to have. Like, if I got a text, I urgently needed to respond. If I had an idea, I urgently needed to do it. It was like just this urgency culture that we have been encoded with. Or maybe for you, it has been like the moment you have an idea, you shut yourself down and you distract yourself and you get on social media and you do nothing about it. And then you end up getting really resentful. So what is that programming that's no longer serving you? Name it, call it, give it an energy, give it a texture. And what is the programming you seek to step into? What are you choosing? Are you someone that takes their time and has spaciousness in their life and enjoys the sacred pause and allows for room in their daily routines for the magic to happen? Are you someone that makes sure the things that matter to them happen no matter what, that doesn't waste time on social media or reality TV or whatever it is that you may be doing? Who is that next level version of you? What are their routines? What are their habits? How are they showing up in the world differently than you are now? Write it all down. Pause this. Write it down. And then there you have it. The exact codes you need to evolve into your highest self. It's really that simple. It's not like your highest self is somewhere above you or outside of you or this destination you'll never get to. It's taking a moment to look at the ways that you have been operating that have not been in alignment with that, giving it grace and understanding as to why it's there. Yes, it totally makes sense. You've picked up that programming. It totally makes sense you've been operating that way. I have compassion for you. And now this version of me is ready to move on. This version of me no longer needs to hide. This version of me no longer needs to busy themselves. This version of me no longer needs to feel like I always need to be doing something to be productive. This version of me no longer needs to be afraid of my success because I'm choosing to. And that right there, making that choice, that is everything. Most of us, we are operating from a belief system of which we have no idea even exists. So when you recognize that, name it, and then choose what you desire instead, that's how you become free. What got you here won't take you there. So where are you going? I hope this resonates with you. Please share with me on social media, share in your stories. Tell me where you're heading. Tell me what energies you are calling in. Tell me what your values are. And tell me what operating systems you are releasing. I'm so excited to support you. If you're interested in diving in with me and studying to become a certified soul purpose and spiritual life coach, then I invite you to join me at the Dharma Coaching Institute. This is an accredited certification school that trains you step by step in 6 months how to create a thriving one-on-one coaching practice as a soul purpose and spiritual life coach. You can head over to dharmacoachinginstitute.com to learn more about it. That's DHARMA coachinginstitute.com, and that link is in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Namaste.